So one of the things, Taylor, that I get a lot is that, and it's not just for Trump, but, a lot of people from the Democratic Party, from the left say, well, you Republicans, all you care about is stopping abortion, but then you don't care about the baby after, which is so untrue. So how would you respond to that statement?
Yeah, well, I'm involved in a number of crisis pregnancy center apostolates ministries and whatnot, and some of them are all Catholic, and some of them are whatever you can be involved in. But what I've noticed is even in the ones that are generally all faith or whatever, all denominations, pan-denominational, the majority is Catholic, and I think the people who are truly pro-life, I mean, I've never met any pro-life person who said, yeah, once the baby comes out, whatever. Nobody
Yeah.
believes that. Nobody
No.
believes that. We give our money, we give our time. There are heroic men and women who are working every single day, Saturdays and Sundays sometimes, to help and assist these women find employment, to get
Absolutely.
them diapers, to get them food, to buy them homes, to get them in apartments, to find mentors for them.
Right.
If they
Yeah.
want adoption, to work through the entire process. I mean, I know, literally, I know hundreds of people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area who are involved in all of these ministries. And it's just a lie. It's just a
Yes.
lie that they want people to think that we just want a baby to come out of the womb and then we shrug our shoulders and we're done with it. That's
Right.
not true at all. And another pro-life element that the Democratic Party doesn't talk about is, yes, we want children the right to be born and to live, but we believe in not only procreation and birth, but also in the raising and education of our children. And
Hmm.
part of that raising and education means that we should do everything we can to create a society where nuclear families are honored and are
Absolutely.
held intact. That has to do with tax laws.
Hmm.
It has to do also with economics, right? And raising people out of poverty. Yes, I mean, you can write checks, welfare checks, and we do that. And there are, of course, reasons for that. But more importantly, is instilling the dignity in the American people so that they can live the American dream. That's one thing I love in the convention in President Trump's speech is he was saying, yes, America's great. Let's make it better. And
Absolutely.
he was he was using the language of the American dream. We've kind of lost that. He's like,
Hmm.
let's get back to the American dream where a young man can marry the love of his life and they can begin having a family and begin to thrive in America and raise children. Not just so children are born, but raise children. And then also create structures so when that's broken for whatever reason,
Hmm.
that these mothers, these fathers, these children are protected and they too can have a track towards the American dream.
Yes.
So, and that's the whole life vision, not just, the birth life. This is the whole life vision. It's calling us to something higher and better and protecting the family unit and the nuclear family, which BLM is 100% opposed to on their agenda. We all
Yes.
need to recognize that. Protecting the nuclear family. Every child has a right to have a mom and a dad. I believe that. Every child has a right to have a mom and a dad. Now, I understand that parents die and there's, all kinds of horrible things happen, abuse and such. But ideally, every child, and we all know this, it's a fact. It's a fact. When a child has a father and a mother, they do better in school, even their health is better, their weight, everything about them thrives more because they are in this nuclear family of protection,
Hmm.
protecting them in the world and helping them. And so, whatever it takes, not only to preserve life in the womb, but to make it so that our American children can thrive in a family that loves them, that's pro life. And another thing that the president discussed that relates to this whole life vision and of the family and of our young people, our children, is school choice. I couldn't
Yes.
believe, Catherine, how much he was talking about school choice. I didn't think he was going to make it that big of an issue. But it was repeated over and over throughout the convention that this, especially when we come into the fall here with schools closed and streaming and Zooming, we saw tonight how Zoom doesn't work so great, right? All these problems, parents are panicking. How am I going to educate my child for the next 9 months? How does that work? And if only we had a system of school choice. Or if we had waivers, I'm going to homeschool. And let me tell you, homeschool isn't free. We're homeschooling. You got to buy all the books. The schools don't send you the books. You got to get the online programs. You get a guide, a coach. You have a child with dyslexia. You got to pay for that. Your kid isn't doing well in physics. Mom and dad can't teach physics. We got to hire a tutor. What if, with school choice, parents who chose to do homeschool could get a voucher to buy these books? Wouldn't that be a good thing? Again, this is a whole life vision. I don't hear any of the Democrats talking about this. All they want to do is tax us more and then just give money to the teachers' unions. And then we see that the worst schools are in these neighborhoods in poor neighborhoods, where in minority neighborhoods often, where these kids are not getting the same education as other children, and they don't even have the choice.
Absolutely. It's really tragic is what it is.
And it's not fair to those people and those kids that grow up in those areas. And then the Democrats like Biden, all these decades, how come he hasn't done a darn thing to help these people? How come Chicago just keeps sinking and sinking and sinking? It's because the Democrats they're a one-trick pony. We'll tax you more and put more money into the account. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and so last weekend I traveled 1,100 miles across Pennsylvania and shortly a little bit in Ohio for the president. And everywhere I go, I mean, the enthusiasm is incredible. It's incredible. And just the most earnest people come up to me, and I'm not important at all. I'm just some random staffer showing up at an event, but they come up to me, they say, "We love this president. We can't wait to vote for him. He believes in us. He believes in me." And it's really heartwarming, to see the love and the appreciation that this president is paying attention to them and their needs, the forgotten man, the forgotten woman. So I've been very touched by my travels, and I'll be here in Florida for this weekend, and then I head back to the Midwest next week. So nonstop, no sleep till Brooklyn, right?
8 days a week.